Often, an artist comes into the scene so passionate and apt that they command attention from both art enthusiasts and artists alike. Now, in this era, so many artists stand tall with words that illustrates their gift. And right here on the Art Express, we are always here to celebrate them. Many thanks to you for joining us. First on gallery, the Gbenga Adeku exhibition, Metalokan, is a solo upcycled art exhibition focused on environmental change, featuring sculptures and art made from discarded materials. Now, this held in Lagos at the J.K. Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, and in collaboration with the Scrap Art Museum, curated by Dotun Popola. Let's go there.
Now, what we need is to get more attention as regards what he's doing. By God's grace, you will get the appropriate attention. We will do our utmost best, okay, to get the people to come in.
This exhibition revolves around the concept of Trinity, Metalokan, representing life, philosophy and aesthetics, and explores the depth of Yoruba culture through the transformation of discarded materials into art.
Metalokan is an exhibition designed to tell you, to inform you about Emi, Okon, and Ewa, because everything is tripartite. That's my belief. And then Emi, because my work has to do with life on land and life below water. Okon, because waste is created by a wrong philosophy, the philosophy of dismissal. But now, if you can change our mind, like it's mind over matter, if we can change our mind about that material, we achieve a whole lot more. We treat it differently, and there's less waste in our environment. Ewa, because the best way to get anybody interested in climate action is to make it absolutely attractive.
In essence, Metalokan is a powerful statement on the potential of art to drive environmental change while celebrating and preserving cultural heritage, highlighting that junk is just an unnamed art.
The one behind me is Yala Yaguchi, which means you will see that there are bees creating their home, and they are also bleeding the honey, and the honey is represented with that gold. If you notice how honey is shining, is really the same yellow gold that you see. Why I call it Yala Yaguchi? Because nature is the most beautiful form of luxury we can ever have, and it's the one to be preserved. Like, the bees don't try to be beautiful, they are already beautiful. So yeah, that's the idea behind my work.
So most of the works that Gbenga exhibited today are made from PET bottles, plastic, and the main focus is Gbenga believes in recycling, believes in sustainable living, and he believes in transforming rubbish to rubies and turning trash to treasure. So he's one of those young people who have sold his own soul to saving the environment while, protesting the environmental decadence that has run down our environment. So Gbenga goes about in the, within the community to select, different plastics that, that litter the road, and you just basically transform them into amazing works of art. So what you see mainly in this show is recycling of plastics at the at the peak. Yeah.
The exhibition is Metalokan, meaning 3 in 1 or Trinity, and it's by Benga, who happens to be all the way from Scrap Art. That's Dr. Bokwala. And it's been a very interesting and very insightful exhibition so far. Different from the regular just something that inspires you to, oil to canvas and regular work of art. This one has to do with recycling things that you literally dump and not want to use again. And this is what art should be about, creating out of nothing. And of course, if you see everything here, it's actually something picked up, used bottles, used hangers, used bottle top, and of course to make something very productive and very useful.
And I'm very much impressed by the creativity and the thoughtfulness that went behind this. I'm very much aware that Nigerians are really creative and brilliant people, but this is nothing I've ever seen before. This is really mind-blowing and really impressive and innovative. Yes, recycling of waste. Yeah, and I get the idea behind it because it's acts, creativity, while also raising awareness about environmental concerns and how that we can actually reuse this so-called waste into valuable, tangible, into artworks basically.
Welcome back. Also on gallery, My Dream Gallery presents Light, an exhibition of a body of work inspired by Damola Adepoju. It's moments on the streets of Lagos Island. It's also to commemorate its 50th birthday celebration, featuring 30 curated paintings and mixed media executed between 2015 and 2025, showcasing his artistic journey. Now, I hope this inspires you to reflect on how you can be lights in your community and spheres of influence. Let's go there.
This exhibition showcases resilience and hope amidst the Lagos urban challenges. Through mixed media collages of clipped new prints, Adepoju constructs iconic Lagos high-rise buildings, highlighting the city's foundation on shared narratives.
This exhibition is titled Light, and it was inspired by a moment he said he was walking down the streets in Isaleko, Lagos Island, and the lights went off. NEPA as well struck, and it was all darkness. And at that moment, he realized, the gloom in the land, the darkness in the land, and how it's a challenging time for people in the nation. And so that inspired him to create these works that are gray in color, and he puts a splash of yellow, symbolizing light, so that we should all try. It's a challenge to all of us to be a light in our sphere of influence. Wherever we find ourselves, be a light.
I've known him for a couple of years, and like I said, I knew him through his works first, before meeting him physically. And from what I've seen of his works, I think is a talented artist, and I must say that he has been able to captivate his audience through his style of painting, considering his ability to interpret his thoughts and his works through the mixed media form. I think it's a very unique form of painting. The style is unique to him. And also, to further show that he's very talented or gifted, you can see that he's also able to work with acrylic on canvas, and which is very unique.
The metaphysical learning in the works sparks conversation about Lagos' rich fabric. This collection reflects his artistic journey since 2015, celebrating 50 years of his life. Featuring 30 pieces of works, this collection is predominantly monochromatic and mixed media, with some balanced with vibrant, impasto paintings of markets.
The exhibition today is titled Light. It's a body of works inspired by the pivotal moments in the Saleko. And I was taking a walk during one of these evenings, and the NEPA struck the light, and they took the light. And what really happened struck me is that I lost my way. But it takes the duty and the responsibility of one person that put on the bulb, which gave me the beacon of hope back to where I was coming from. And that actually inspired me that how could I be a light to my environment. And it's a question for us to be able to find a way to lighten up our environment, not being a passive person, but be an active person in our environment. And that is the question, and that's the body of work I'm exhibiting here today.
Adepoju uses an elevated perspective to capture architectural structures and the city's structural grid, distilling them into a visual rhythm of cultural memory. Light symbolizes a brighter tomorrow, and this work aims to evoke emotions, honoring Lagos' indomitable spirit.
The exhibiting artist today happens to be a very good friend and close friend of mine. The young and vibrant artist, which I take a good, deep liking to. Then his works evoke some feelings, innate feelings, that it takes you into it draws you into his works, be it figure, be it scenery, landscape, or whatever it is that he's painting. He throws himself into it. And he's ingenious too with his use of newsprint. People have been using newsprint, but I use newsprint too. But I love the way he does inculcate it into his painting without making it too, it's obvious, but it's not overshadowing the essence of him being a painter.
Welcome back. Finally on today's episode. Now, Japa Film and Art Group Exhibition is a compelling dual-channel project by Third Pyramid Art Center, Lagos. Now, this powerful initiative features a feature-length documentary and a group art exhibition exploring one of the most pressing realities in contemporary Nigeria: mass migration. Let's go there.
Japa is a multi-phase project designed to investigate the migration phenomenon both introspectively and outwardly through visual storytelling and artistic reflection.
I'm a metal sculptor actually. I use recycled materials to create my artworks. So from this Japa exhibition, I produced 5 different works. Each and every one of them are made of recycled materials like junks, plastic, rubber wire, and metals, all forms of metals. So my works, which I exhibited for this exhibition, I exhibited each and every one of them are made with metal junks. The first one is breaking challenges. The second one is societal pollution, societal suffocation. The third one is distracted barrier. The fourth one is Igbawo. It's a Yoruba term meaning rain. And the last one is nature's nurture, which I use animal to make to pass a message for communication about what my artwork is. So those are the titles of my works.
It comprises a documentary film and a group exhibition and presents a narrative of search, sacrifice, resilience, and reckoning. Through the lens of 15 exceptional visual artists, all alumni of the Next of Kin Art Competition by Thought Pyramid Art Center, the project offers a critical look at the systematic, personal, and societal factors fueling Nigeria's immigration wave. Together, the film and art exhibition acts as a mirror to the nation and the creative space, revealing not just why people are leaving, but what it means to stay. Japa is not just a critique, it is a call to listen, to reflect, and perhaps to return.
The inspiration behind my works and the story that my works tells is as a sculptor, I usually use my artwork to pass a message. Like it talks about feelings, it talks about emotions, it talks about the community that we live in, because I can't talk about other Western community, because the place I live in, that's what I'll talk about, because I know what is happening around me. What inspires my work, actually, my works are being inspired by nature and things around human feelings, as I've said earlier on. So what really inspired me based on the topic of this, the theme of this exhibition is the happenings around, how we were giving birth, having a gift or having a prospect of who we are supposed to be, but based on the societal challenges that we are having in our community, our dreams got distracted, our dreams change. As it is, as a young adult, even children, we were always asked that what will you be when you grow up? Some will say, I want to become a pilot, I want to become an astronaut, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a musician. So, but the environment, the society which we are in, has now directed our plans, our motives from what we are supposed to be. So those are the things that really inspired me on producing these works for the Japa exhibition, and it's some of it are suffocation of the effort we are making in the country. It's being directed to just ahead. So those are my inspirations.
The title of the exhibition is Japa, and the work I'm exhibiting 4 works. The number 1 is Mindset from Childhood, State of Mind, Looking for My Heart Desire, and Heart Desire Granted. That's the title of my works, the 4 of my works. The inspiration behind my work is about the story of a friend who believed that having a mindset from childhood, that this is what I want to become in future. But with this understanding, he tried to focus on our education, go to primary school, secondary school, go to higher institution, serving, is our fatherland. So at the end of the day, there's nothing to show for it. But she now decided to, leave the country and go another country for a greener pasture. So that's the story behind my work I'm exhibiting today. So here today, I present Tokumbo as a body of work. And Tokumbo simply means the seeds of Japa. They are the children of Japa. Because when looking at Japa, Japa happens to be somebody who wants to be responsible in life, who wants to be in charge. Nobody sees that and wait. Everybody wants to be responsible for one or two things in life. But when the things are not working, you have to find means to survive. So, in other words, Japa happens to be somebody who traveled abroad to go and find his greener pasture. So at the end of the day, be it positive or negative, he returned. But me, I'm on the positive side here. So Japa traveled, he made it, and returned home with something great.
Basically, the works are focused on Japa. Japa is the migration that is currently happening massively in Nigeria. So the visual artists have been able to use their own artistic voice. They've been able to use their own artistic voice to share their own thoughts, to also share their experience, because some of these artists have actually been at the end of what Japa can do to somebody. For example, one of the artists, she grew apart from her father because he migrated to another country. Another one of the artists had a bad experience in Angola. And some of them also have had wonderful experience from traveling out of the country and, coming back. So it's just, we are not trying to tell people that this is what Japa should be or this is what we want them to think. We have just been able to get these artists to share their thoughts across the works, and when people come, they see the different perspectives and they can decide which one works for them.
I have about 5 works here. One is titled 21 Bags of Dream. That's the story of my father when he jackpot, right? Another one is titled I Pledge to Myself, which is the story of every Nigerian who is trying to survive in Nigeria despite how hard it is. And then people who are jackparing, they owe it to themselves to create a better future for themselves and adapt to whatever life they find when they travel. Another one is titled Movement. That's another name for Japa. It's a street word in the streets when you say, oh, movement, I don't they go, I did Japa, stuff like that. So that's what one is titled. Another one is titled United State of Mind, which is about the state of mind where everyone is presently, everyone who wants to Japa. So it feels like it's a syndrome. The Japa syndrome, the Japa pandemic. So everybody is at that wavelength right now. I want Japa. So I titled that one United State of Mind, where we're all in the same zone where we want to Japa. And another one is titled Sweet and Sour. That one is very close to my heart because the subject of that work is myself and my daughter, right? And which I'll also connect with my father when he traveled, the trauma I suffered. So I'm using my daughter as a point of reference to myself. If I Japa, what will be the psychological effect on her, right? Just the way my father Japa, and I had to man up and stand up for my family because my mother was pregnant at the time that my father traveled. So I had to step up, grow up so fast so that I could balance my father leaving and then the strained relationship we now have because of that decision he made to Japa. So yeah, my works basically is around this psychological effect that is with everyone who you leave behind when you Japa.
In the words of Henri Matisse, creativity takes courage. It takes a creative mind to dream his painting and paint his dream. It's a wrap today on this episode of The Arts Express. I'll see you again, same time, same station next week.